Number 9. Why does anything exist at all? It's the most fundamental question of all. Why is there something rather than nothing? From the Big Bang to the present day, science traces how the universe evolved, but not why it began in the first place. Physics can describe the expansion of space, the formation of galaxies, and even quantum fluctuations that might spark entire universes. But the origin behind the origin remains unanswered. Why should there be laws of physics at all, instead of pure emptiness? Philosophers have struggled with this for centuries. Some argue existence itself is a brute fact, something that needs no explanation. Others suggest a necessary being, a timeless force or creator that makes existence possible. But even these ideas raise another question. Why that being? Why that law? Why that starting point? And not nothing at all? Every answer seems to lead to another why. The contrast is stark. Science explains the how, religion and philosophy propose the why, and both fall short of a final answer. The mystery remains untouched, lingering at the edges of human thought. And perhaps that's the unsettling consequence. Existence itself may be the ultimate unexplainable, a reality we can only live inside but never fully understand. Number 8. Do we have free will? Every choice we make feels like freedom. But is it really? Neuroscience suggests that our decisions may not be as independent as we think. Brain scans show that neural activity can predict a choice milliseconds before we become consciously aware of it. If the brain decides before the mind catches up, are we simply passengers, experiencing the illusion of control? Philosophers split on the answer. Determinists argue that every action is shaped by prior causes, our genetics, environment, and experiences, leaving little room for true freedom. Others defend compatibilism, the idea that even within a determined system, our ability to reflect and choose still counts as free will. Meanwhile, some scientists believe quantum mechanics introduces randomness into the brain, but randomness is not the same as genuine choice. The tension is clear. We feel free, yet evidence suggests our choices may be pre-written by biology and circumstance. Whether free will exist or not, the belief in it shapes our lives, how we punish crime, reward effort, and define personal responsibility. And that might be the biggest paradox. Even if free will is an illusion, it's one society cannot afford to abandon. Number 7. What is consciousness? It's the one thing we all experience, yet no one can fully explain. Consciousness, the sense of being aware, of having thoughts, emotions, and an inner world, remains one of science's greatest mysteries. Neuroscience can map brain activity, track electrical impulses, and identify regions tied to perception. But none of this explains how raw matter produces the rich experience of a mind. How does the firing of neurons translate into the taste of coffee, the pain of loss, or the idea of the self? Philosophers call this the hard problem of consciousness. Unlike memory or attention, which can be studied in measurable ways, consciousness is subjective. Only the individual can truly access it. Some theories suggest the brain integrates information into a unified whole, creating awareness. Others propose consciousness may be a fundamental feature of the universe itself, not just a byproduct of biology. The contrast is striking. Science can measure the machinery of thought, but not the spark that makes it feel alive. Until we solve this riddle, we remain strangers to our own minds, living with an experience more familiar than anything else, yet still impossible to define. And that leaves consciousness as one of the deepest, most unsettling questions we may never answer. Number 6. Why do we dream? Every night our minds create entire worlds, but no one knows exactly why. Dreams have fascinated humans for millennia. Ancient cultures believed they were messages from gods, visions of the future, or windows into the soul. Today, science can describe the process. Dreams emerge during REM sleep, when the brain is highly active, almost as if we're awake. But the purpose behind these vivid mental movies remains elusive. Some researchers argue dreams help us process emotions, replaying stressful events in a safe space. Others suggest they're the brain's way of consolidating memory, sorting through fragments of experience to strengthen what matters. A competing theory says dreams are nothing more than random neural activity, with our minds inventing stories to make sense of the chaos. The truth may lie somewhere in between, dreams as both biological function and psychological theater. They blur the line between reality and imagination, exposing hidden fears and desires we might ignore while awake. And that's why the question endures. If dreams are more than random noise, then every night we slip into a secret world that might be telling us more about ourselves than we realize. Number 5. What is time? We live by it, measure it, and feel it slipping away. Yet no one fully understands what time actually is. To physics, time is a dimension woven into the fabric of space itself. Einstein showed that time bends and stretches depending on speed and gravity. Astronauts orbiting Earth age ever so slightly slower than people on the ground. This makes time less like a steady river and more like a flexible landscape that can warp under the weight of the universe. Philosophers, however, question whether time truly flows at all. Some argue the past, present, and future all exist simultaneously, and what we experience as the now is just our perception moving along a fixed timeline. Others insist only the present is real, and the past and future are illusions of memory and imagination. The contrast is unsettling. To science, time is relative and malleable. To philosophy, it might not exist in the way we think. Yet no matter the theory, time rules our lives. We count it, chase it, and eventually run out of it. And that may be the greatest paradox. Time shapes everything, while its true nature remains forever beyond our grasp. Number 4, are we alone in the universe? It's the question that stretches across the stars and back into our own fears. The observable universe contains hundreds of billions of galaxies, each with hundreds of billions of stars. Around many of those stars, planets orbit in the habitable zone, where liquid water and perhaps life could exist. Statistically, it seems almost impossible that Earth is the only home to living beings. And yet, despite decades of searching, we've found no concrete evidence of extraterrestrial life. Scientists listen for signals through projects like SETI, probe the icy moons of Jupiter and Saturn for hidden oceans, and scan distant exoplanets for traces of oxygen or methane. So far, silence. This eerie absence is known as the Fermi paradox. If intelligent civilizations are likely, why haven't we seen any sign of them? The answers range from sobering to terrifying. Maybe life is vanishingly rare, maybe advanced civilizations self-destruct, or maybe they're out there, deliberately avoiding us. The consequences of either answer are profound. If we are alone, it means life on Earth is an impossibly rare miracle. If we are not, it means the universe is far stranger, and perhaps far more dangerous than we can imagine. Number 3, do numbers exist without us? They shape our world, yet their very existence is a mystery. Mathematics feels eternal, like a language written into the fabric of reality. The ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter is always pi, whether or not anyone is there to measure it. Gravity follows precise equations, galaxies spin in predictable patterns, and quantum mechanics unfolds in mathematical structures. To many, this suggests numbers exist independently of us, discovered, not invented. But philosophers and mathematicians disagree. Some argue numbers are human creations, abstract tools we've developed to describe patterns we observe, without minds to count or symbols to represent them. 2 apples or 5 stars would simply exist without any inherent numerical value. In this view, mathematics is not a hidden truth of the universe, but a lens through which we interpret it. The debate cuts to the core of reality itself. If numbers are real, they might be the closest thing to universal laws, existing even in a cosmos without life. If they're not, then mathematics is just a remarkable invention of the human brain, useful, powerful, but not eternal. Either way, the question lingers. Are numbers the language of the universe, or just the story we tell to make sense of it? Number 2, is reality even real? What if everything we see, touch, and believe is nothing more than an illusion? Philosophers have questioned the nature of reality for centuries. From Plato's allegory of the cave, where shadows on a wall are mistaken for truth, to Descartes' radical doubt, the possibility that our senses deceive us has always been unsettling. In the modern age, this has taken the form of the simulation hypothesis, the idea that our universe could be an advanced computer program, indistinguishable from reality itself. Science, too, raises doubts. Quantum mechanics shows particles existing in multiple states until observed, as if reality itself depends on measurement. Neuroscience reveals that what we perceive is not the world directly, but the brain's reconstruction of sensory data, a best guess at what's out there. If our experience of reality is filtered and interpreted, how can we ever be sure it reflects truth? The contrast is stark. We live as though reality is solid, yet every layer we peel back suggests it may be fragile, subjective, or even fabricated, and that leaves us with an unsettling possibility. What we call reality might not be the final truth at all, but only the version our minds allow us to see. Number 1, what is the meaning of life? It's the oldest and most personal question of all. Why are we here? For millennia, Religions have offered answers. Christianity, Islam, and Judaism frame life as a test or journey toward God. Hinduism and Buddhism see it as part of a cycle, where meaning lies in liberation from suffering or rebirth. Each tradition gives purpose by anchoring human existence to something greater than ourselves. Philosophy, however, often takes a harsher view. Existentialists like Jean-Paul Sartre and Albert Camus argued that life has no inherent meaning. We are thrown into a universe without purpose, and it is up to us to create our own. This perspective can feel liberating or terrifying. Meaning is not discovered, but invented, moment by moment. The contrast is clear. Religion promises an ultimate reason for our existence, while philosophy challenges us to face the void and carve our own path. And yet, perhaps the question itself is the answer. Searching for meaning may be what makes us human. Whether handed down by faith or written through our choices, the quest for purpose is what gives life its weight. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. If you want more videos like this, please subscribe to the channel.